Hi, boys and girls, it's Miss Marioni again. I'm so excited because today we're going to listen to a story called The Runaway Pumpkin, and then we get to make a pumpkin craft just like you see on the screen. Are you excited? I know, I'm super excited. Okay, first we have to listen to the story. Here it goes.
The Runaway Pumpkin by Kevin Lewis, illustrated by S.D. Schindler, and creatively read by Miss Jill. Once upon a hill, when the wind blew with a chill, wandered Buck and Billy Baxter with their baby sister Lil. And there upon the hillside, growing orange, fat, and fine, the budding Baxters found a pumpkin on a twisty, twirly vine. It was big and it was round, and the boys, with their eyes agleam, gave a whoop and a yell and a holler. No finer pumpkin had they seen. And today was Halloween. Yet little Lil was cautious, and of course she tried to warn them, but her bumbling big-head brother snapped the pumpkin from its stem. And as she watched them roll it, at first real slow, but then much faster, little Lil looked down the hill, and she foresaw disaster. Round and round across the ground, making a thumpin' bumpin' sound, came that thumpity-bumpity thumpin' bumpin' round and rolly runaway pumpkin. A short way down the hillside, that zoomin' pumpkin caught the eye of Muck and Mama Baxter, who thought of Granny's pumpkin pie. Till it busted through her sty. Round and round across the ground, making a thumpin' bumpin' sound, came that thumpity-bumpity thumpin' bumpin' round and rolly runaway pumpkin. A bit farther down the hillside, just beyond the chicken coop, Grandpa Baxter saw that pumpkin and thought of Granny's pumpkin soup. Till it knocked him for a loop. Round and round across the ground, making a thumpin' bumpin' sound, came that thumpity-bumpity thumpin' bumpin' round and rolly runaway pumpkin. Now at the bottom of that hillside, where the bumpin' pumpkin sped, Papa Baxter on his tractor thought of Granny's pumpkin bread. But Papa Baxter used his head and quickly plowed a pumpkin bed. So at the bottom of the hillside, fat and round upon the ground, that thumpin' bumpin' pumpkin plopped and didn't make another sound. As pigs and hens and Baxters gathered round where Papa plowed, little Lil, she gathered Granny and pulled her through the waiting crowd. Buck and Billy looked really proud. Then thumpity, bumpity, thumpin' bumpin' straight to the kitchen went that pumpkin. And soon after came the smell of dear old Granny cookin' somethin'. Granny stirred and stewed and baked until the bright full moon rose up, and all those hungry Baxters sat themselves right down to sup. And at the center of the table, among the soup and bread and pie, sat a grinning jack-o'-lantern with a twinkle in its eye. The end.
Wasn't that such a silly story about that runaway pumpkin? And I thought it would be a great idea to make our own pumpkin that looks like a jack-o'-lantern at the end of the story. Are you ready to hear what we need to use? Here are your supplies. You need a piece of paper, scissors, glue, and crayons. That's all. First, cut a circle out of your piece of paper so it looks like a pumpkin. I then colored it orange, nice and neat. After I colored my pumpkin orange, I made sure I added the grooves and I added a face. You can make yours happy like mine. It could be spooky or a little silly. Next, I cut out a rectangle and colored it brown. After I colored my rectangle for the stem, I then glued it on. This way our pumpkin has a stem like the one in the read aloud. Next, I have two rectangle pieces cut out. I colored them green for our vines. And look at this silly part. I crinkled them up and glued them on. There you have it. There's our pumpkin. I hope you want to make a pumpkin too. And don't forget, if you make a pumpkin, send it to your teachers in a picture. We would love to see your creation. Have fun making your pumpkins. Bye.